big event ever to center exclusively on CounterStrike.
Shout out to X3 Blue, who are our clan mates. Both offense and defense, we had it pretty much locked down exactly what we were going to do.
Well, I'm sitting here with Angel Munoz, who's the founder of the CPL, of the Speakeasy CPL CounterStrike event here in Dallas, Texas.
Of the Cyber Athlete Professional League and a very good friend of mine, go up here, Mr. John Romero.
How is gaming becoming more of a spectator sport? We've witnessed a few developments in the spectator realm at this event, and what do you see happening in terms of spectator participation in gaming events happening more and more?
The CPL obviously is at the early stages of a new sport. And if you look at the history of any sport, at the early stages, most of the spectators are people that are actively involved in the sport. What we are seeking is to broaden that to casual gamers, and then to take that further to people that are not as familiar with gaming. We would like to see a game developed from the ground up with the idea of a professional tournament in mind. What we're doing right now, as baseball did when they first started, is they didn't charge spectators to come to their stadiums.
Right.
As of our next event, all spectator passes will be free. So when you go to register for an event, if you're not bringing a computer to the event and to be part of the BYLC, or if you're not participating in the tournament, you will be allowed to come in at no charge.
So parents and friends and
exactly. Those are some of the things that we're doing to get that. Obviously, we are in conversations with companies that we believe can bring spectator to the broader audiences. But we're not really seeking television right now, Edward. We want to talk to companies like Speakeasy.net and maybe bring this sport to the internet first. In a couple months, we celebrate our 4th year anniversary. I think that we've accomplished and covered a lot of ground and accomplished a lot in the process. But this is a 10-year project for me. It was from the first time that I started it. So we're on year 4. We got still more 6 years to make sure that we get it to the average person.
You mentioned working with developers. Would you mind sharing us the story on how you started working with Valve to get the release for their spectator software, and what the story is behind the Valve CPL relationship?
The relationship really started with Frank Nuccio. He had a long relationship with Valve, and when we started talking to Valve about it, and we told them, they actually volunteered to do this.
Oh, cool.
It wasn't us trying to convince them, Edward, to do this, but they volunteered, and they said, you know, this is something that really we should do. So I was amazed. I mean, one day they were working on it. They flew Frank. They called Frank and said, can you fly out so you can see it? Valve took it upon themselves to fly Frank Nuccio to their offices to preview it. Then a couple of weeks after that, they flew out here to Dallas for us to preview it, and obviously blew me away because this is incredible. And then they all came here. Yesterday we had Doug Lombardi and a lot of other people from Valve here, it's incredible that a company that's so successful with their title Half-Life, and that is one of the most successful FPS games ever, that they still feel so strongly about supporting the gaming community.
What do you think the role that broadband connections like DSL and cable or wireless broadband play into professional gaming and to competitive gaming in general?
Maxim magazine listed the top 5 items that you, or 5 things that you can do if you had a DSL connection or a broadband connection. And one of them, surprising to us, was become a cyber athlete. And the author was informed enough to say that while our events are live and they're done on a local area network, that they must practice online. I think that broadband connections are going to be essential for the league if we launch the league moves forward and accepting the internet as really the medium to broadcast our event. If you're serious about becoming a professional gamer, or if you're serious about following the sport, you need broadband connectivity. So that should be on top of your list.
Yep. What do you think about a CounterStrike event like this one? This is the first big CounterStrike event. How have you felt the actual event itself has been different than a Quake 3 event or a Quake 2 event?
The Quake community is a community that started with Doom, so they've been around for a long time. It has many years of tradition, and it's a very well-established community, but they have very specific expectations about what these events need to be like. The CounterStrike community, which is now probably about 2 years old, is a little newer, and this is the first big event ever to center exclusively on CounterStrike. Is actually, I think that community is more fertile, and it's obviously larger than the Quake community for our league right now. The enthusiasm of watching the strategy on the new spectator mod or beta that Valve has offered us and offered the community has created. We today have changed the way that CounterStrike is going to be played forever.
Absolutely.
So this event will mark a major difference for how the sport of CounterStrike competitions will go on. We started this year, our first event this year is with CounterStrike, and we're going to end this year with CounterStrike with a $150,000 tournament that will have participation from about 40 to 50 different countries. It'll be the largest event ever done in the United States, ever, and the largest prize ever in the world for a single game tournament.
Yeah.
And it will also be our largest event as far as the amount of people. We expect about 2,000 people to show up for that event.
Wow. Yeah, I've noticed that at this event that the international presence with teams from France and Denmark has really added to the excitement of it all, because then it brings in some types of national pride between the different groups, and that's really fun for a sport.
We recruited the best players in France, basically, and we just put them in one team. Since then, we've been looking for sponsorships, and we finally got one with Light Up. And that's why we're here, actually.
And it's absolutely necessary for a sport to remain interesting, to have those sort of levels of competition. We are looking at the latter part of this year to start franchising teams, and then that brings a whole different level of competition, because then you have Seattle against Dallas, Dallas against San Francisco against New York, and it really brings a new level of excitement to the sport.
And that's what the people want. I mean, people love local pride.
Exactly, absolutely.
What has the highlight of this event this weekend been for you? If there's one thing that stood out the most in terms of excitement for you, what would it be?
Well, I think the highlight has been what Valve has done with their spectator beta software. It was a pleasant surprise. It almost feels like a gift.
Yeah.
I think that's really a highlight. Another one, it's a little more subtle. It's the fact that the environment of this event has been so relaxed.
Yeah.
People are socializing more. That doesn't normally occur at our events. People are interacting, socializing, talking. I think what you guys did with bringing these sofas in here and couches, I think it's an incredible idea, one that we should obviously continue to do together. And it brings the opportunity for people to sit around and chat, if not just even rest. So the environment of the event feels very good. Normally by now I'm really tired and my voice is almost gone. And I really feel the software that's used for the brackets, to publish the brackets, as you know, was developed, that you're kindly hosting at Speakeasy, was developed by us, and it's the first component of a fully automated system that we're developing. And everything's been working flawlessly. We didn't give away $100,000 at this event, but we changed the way that people are going to view CounterStrike. And I hope that people that watch this and hear about it, especially from some of the hardcore Quake gamers, that they realize that CounterStrike is a good and solid spectator type of sport game also, so that there's really no monopoly in it.
Yesterday, when I announced our summer event, I got a lot of questions, and the number one question that I got asked was, how much is that event going to be? Well, it's going to be half of what we normally charge, because this celebration is only going to be $20. And any profits that are generated on that event will be donated to charity as a celebration of our 4th year anniversary. We want to reinvest back into the community. So we have
got no picture with your shoe, big man. And a lot more pieces, all I get is pain. Niggas want none of this, back like Mikey, cause I be running this. Ain't no way to run, cause I be running this. Ain't no way to run, come on. Ain't no way to go, cause I be running this. Reach the city, come on. Surrounded by the colors, I see crimson, black and blue. Come on. Locking open doors again, I'm still afraid of you. Light to dark and light again, I always thought I knew. Come on! Young to old and young again, what's left for me to do? System of the universe selecting me in time. Come on! I'm falling down upon the earth and singing drooping rhymes. Come on! If I was a rolling stone, I'd roll until I'm through. Come on! And if I was a garden, I would bloom in black with you. Ain't no way to run, cause I be running this.
Second place, very good showing from Canada, is Dino. So, you guys take a lot of information from Canada.
Just one last thing I wanted to say. A couple teams up here mentioned that they're trying to work on their sponsorship deal or get some of this live into Brazil or wherever. As some of you might know, we sponsor a team from the Northwest called Team Abuse. They're a Quake 3 and CounterStrike team. They competed in the event. It's worked out very well for us. It's worth everything that we've done for it. And so if you're looking for a sponsor and you're in contact with a company and they need a reference or someone to talk to complete the deal or whatever, to hear another corporate entity talk about how sponsorship has worked for them, please send it my way. You can grab my card and no, we are not going to sponsor any more teams, but I'm happy to talk to other companies and tell them how important it is to sponsor competitive teams. So please feel free to get out.
Whatever you want.
It's time to bring the tension away. Take a ride. Into the dimension of the 2 5
Alright.
Now I'm looking for a flex, but I'm over 8 heads. I got the full time style. Just stress, never running from the fence.
I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam. I am. I would not like them here or there. I would not like them anywhere. I could not, would not on a boat. I will not with a goat. I will not eat them in the rain. I will not eat them on a train.